What is up, guys? Welcome back to the letter. So, I'm just going to get right to it. As you guys know, recently I have been kind of going off the normal schedule of how I was doing things, like playing the letter. Just every single upload was either a letter or a gameplay video. And while I love doing that, it does become a little bit competitive. So, last time we played was a while ago. So let's just load game file. Alright. I wake feeling like the wind had been knocked out of me. With a groan, I squint and find a certain fluff ball sitting on my chest looking as pleased as Punch. Aww, she's the overlady of the cats, queen of despair and destruction of nice furniture. Though I can't say mad at her majesty because it feels like she did something good this time. I was having a nightmare, but I can't even remember what it was about. Trying to recall leaves a terrible pit in my stomach. Maybe it's probably better that I don't remember.
Good morning, Baruthia. Who's a good kitty? Are you hungry? Is that why you woke me up?
A content purr comes from my sweet dear before she jumps off the bed and trots towards the kitchen. On the other hand, it takes me a bit more before I roll out of bed and start my day. Mornings before work is always quite a fair. It's always quite a fair. Shower first, then a mug of coffee and a bowl of oats. Sometimes I do stretches and I always check my work email. The Wrights will be moving into the mansion today. I don't think the paperwork is officially done yet, but it isn't too far-fetched to think that we're allowed to start their move despite that. Rich people like them will always find ways to get what they want after all.
I'll be leaving you again today, Beth. So you behave and make sure not to shred up my new covers, okay? And don't worry, I didn't forget tomorrow is Black Cat Day, so I'll throw you a party. But only if you behave like a proper lady.
She barely gives me a glance as I say that before going back to her own food. Cats. Still better than humans most of the time. Too bad I have to work with humans. The place is already busy as soon as I get there. The foreman, one that I've recommended to the Wrights for his work ethic, is early as usual. Already he's instructing men here and there with the bigger loads. I have no chance to talk to him as Mrs. Wright appears and greets me with a smile.
Mrs. Wright, I hope everything has been to your liking thus far.
I hope so too.
Good morning, Marianne. It has been delightful and these men have been very helpful.
God.
Look at all this. It's so busy here. I'm getting tired just looking at them go.
Aww.
No complications so far with the movers or the previous owners of the mansion, I hope?
I hope not.
If anything, the only one being problematic is Luke, if I'm to be honest.
Yup.
He can be such a diva, but I do like that about him.
A diva is crazy. She stops, looking up at the upper landing where Mr. Wright comes through with two other movers in the mirror from the study.
Oh, do be careful with that mirror. We wouldn't want anyone getting hurt because of broken glass.
No, we wouldn't, dearie.
Why are you even having it carried around?
Oh? You did say you didn't want the mirror, and I keep getting distracted by it. If I'm going to turn the study into my office, I'd rather not have it there. Where can we put this?
Well, you are not putting it in our room. Why don't you go, I don't know, put it in the wine cellar for now? We can figure out if we'll store it in the attic or somewhere else later, yes?
You heard her, boys. To the cellar it goes. Mush!
The movers bring down the mirror one step at a time, no matter how much the man tells them to hurry. Yeah, an unsettling feeling grows in my stomach as I see our reflection in the bloody thing. That's the mirror for my dream. As soon as I go into the kitchen, I realize I'm holding my breath. I let out a sigh of relief when I think nobody's looking, and I go back to the task at hand. It'll be a terribly busy day, and there's no need for me to even think of anything else. I talk with the foreman, fill him in which room is which. It seems I'm doomed to not get any significant work done without being interrupted when it comes to these particular clients, however.
Marianne, dear, have you had breakfast yet? Well, I do believe it would be considered brunch at this hour. Oh, yes, Mrs. Wright, You must join me. Johans has already been breaking in the kitchen, as they say. I do not see the others settling down for a meal anytime soon. Someone might as well enjoy the food while it's hot. And that someone might as well be us.
I should say no. I really must say no. But the way she smiles at me makes it so difficult to do so. Look how ridiculous I'm being, acting like a silly, nervous schoolgirl with a crush. It's just a brunch, and who am I to say no to a client? It would be impolite to do so. Not like I'm going to agree because of anything other than property. I'm not agreeing just because she batted her pretty eyelashes at me.
If you insist.
It's something about her eyes, rather. Okay. She looks like she needs a good talk. A friend. And although I'm not supposed to be chummy with my client, there's no harm in pretending, right? Of course, I've been wrong on many occasions before. Maybe there's plenty harm in pretending I care. Because pretending I care might lead to actually caring. Being alone in the same room as the missus leaves me reeling as I find myself paying too much attention to her. Seems so borderline unhealthy. How much I'm getting obsessed, even if it's just by looking. And it's the little insignificant things I notice, like the way she plays with her hair, how she smooths down her dress.
Up, higher, come on now.
Whiskey's annoying voice in the other room helps pull me back to the ground. I'm just looking, aren't I? Someone like her wouldn't even look at someone like me. So there's some time to turn around this bad decision.
I'd really like to thank you for inviting me to breakfast, Mrs. Wright. But I already ate, so I should really go back to work. Nonsense! You arrived so early. You must not have gotten a proper meal.
Exactly.
Sit. I'd situate us in the dining hall, but it is a mess right now.
Her concern is sweet, as is her smile. But I'm really not here for idle chit-chat, something I keep forgetting. Both distracted when the food arrives, and it's enough for me to stay, at least until the meal is over. No more, no less, just be polite. Thankfully, the conversation steers into a topic I'm comfortable with, work. This goes on for a bit, and I can't be more flattered. Most people don't understand, call me a workaholic, but I choose to work in a field I'm enthusiastic about. So what if my career is also my hobby?
But no, really, how have you liked it so far? Oh, it has been wonderful, believe me. Everything is going smoothly, too. It has been a long time since I've worked on something on this grand a scale. Nowadays, everyone is about condos and flats, living in the city where every room is an identical box. Believe me, this is very refreshing. We lived in a condo before this, Marianne. I didn't mean any insult. It's fine, sweetie. Look at you, all frazzled. I was just pulling your leg. Luke wanted that penthouse when we got married, and you can thank him for purchasing this place as well.
Wait, doesn't she own the house? I'm pretty sure. I have no business with it, though. It's theirs to hash out. Apparently, the momentary confusion had been visible on my face.
Don't be fooled. I'm just the treasury.
Haha.
I wouldn't be able to make a purchase this grand without his seal of approval. I see. That's it. That's all you have to say.
Yes, what else is there to it? Without warning, this nice, friendly chat evolved into something horrible. Something sad.
But I really don't know what to say, Mrs. Wright. We were talking of no topic in particular, and... Luke. We were talking about Luke. About him not eating breakfast with you? About him treating me as if I were some treasury.
Despite my general dislike of the upper class, I sometimes feel pity for them. They may have all the money in the world where material things aren't a problem, but they don't even see what they've become, where they've ended up, or what they've done most of the time. They're shut by their own trap, forced to play along with society's expectations and do anything to stay where they are and to keep what they have. A world wherein people feel or are treated like they are mere possessions. When someone is at the top, the only way for them to go is down. I've worked with many Hanas and Lukes and Whiskeys, but I've never been one of them. I don't pretend to understand that word any deeper than that. I merely know what I witnessed before. She looks lost, speechless at how she betrayed herself. My pity for the likes of her returns. But the pity moves me as I speak. Before she can say anything else, I might ruin or break her.
I won't speak a word, Mrs. Wright. Not only am I contractually obliged to, it would also go against my principles. This is no one else's business but your own, and it should be kept between the two of you. And whoever you wish to seek counsel from. Please, Marianne. You have to understand. These sort of affairs. If anyone were to know this, they could just twist it and we'll be ruined. All I ask for is your silence on the matter.
The way she practically begs me to keep quiet about it is disheartening. I have no plans on speaking anything about anything I hear, especially if it is about their private affairs. But the way she looks at me, the way she just expects some sort of fallout because of this makes my heart clench.
Well, I'm keeping that information confidential as well.
Not like I have any other choice, do I?
Thank you.
When the last of the food and drink is gone, the door opens as if on cue.
Madam, the photographer from Luxury Living is here.
Zachary!
This was a wonderful meal, Marianne. You're free to return to your duties. I must excuse myself. It was my pleasure. And thank you for the food as well.
He stands up to leave him, and all I want to do is to reassert her again, to prove that I'm someone she can trust. So when she looks back my way, I don't fight the smile that found its way on my face. I feel giddy. But the feeling dies down afterwards as I sober up. Oh well, back to work. Soon enough, I find myself drawn to the kitchen where the right butler has returned to. He's already claimed the space and telling movers to back off, and none dares to question his proclamation either.
My kitchen. No kinder allowed. Little men running around with knives especially. We do not want any accidents to happen now, do we? Good? Good.
I mean, there's a knife-wielding German standing there. I don't think anyone would be insane enough to refuse his request.
I hope I meet the age restriction, or at least the height restriction, because I'm asking to be let in here.
You are allowed inside, McCulloch, but not the little ones.
That is a crazy statement. I'm shaking my head and I roll my eyes is all I give him. Not like I'm going to be any trouble with him, I just need to look around and get my bearings. The breakfast had been distraction enough. I don't even want to think about what we just talked about. I just need to get my head straight and get back to work. The movers work efficiently even when they're left alone. All they do quick work of their responsibilities. The head foreman comes and standing in the doorway to consult me on this or that, and I have to go help out and every now and then. But they pretty much have everything up to standards. They skip lunch entirely, not even realizing when they do so. Nevertheless, all is well as the butler gets to heating up the leftover bubble and squeak from breakfast and makes generous batch of fish and chips for them. Most likely simple in comparison of what he serves to the right, but well done nonetheless.
That smells good. Want to...
Wrap up some for me to go. It's an odd observation more than anything. My thoughts as they are preoccupy me. I accidentally clicked it.
If there are any left, one can't go wrong with fish and chips. Everyone loves them. Even my husband. And he's American.
How did I expect that? I expected that. I'm not going to say what I expected, but I expected that. Y'all already know. I really do hate getting so up close and personal with my clients. It's a distraction. It is obvious that I've gotten my priorities all wrong when I can't help but think about what I heard, what I learned about the right couple. These things have a way of creeping up on a person. Thoughts, ideas, whether they are fact or fiction. They creep up and fester, crawling right in a way that twists. I hear giggling, delighted, and mocking. They creep up in. Sensation of fingers ghosting briefly on my arm causes me to freeze and hiss.
Don't!
I half expect her to be there.
Whoa, no need to scream bloody murder!
Damn, all you did was touch her when you were like, down! Jesus.
It's just me. Quiet down before you break glass.
Okay. But it's just whiskey.
Don't do that again. Ever.
Ever! Mr. Wright. I don't like being scared, though I don't believe in the likes of spooks. Being startled is not on the top of the list of things Marianne liked. Lucky for him, I have nothing within reach. Or he would have gotten a friendly terms with something. Like a rolling pin.
What was with that that reaction? Were you really scared?
Yes, of you.
Has Johan's been telling you ghost stories? He just loves to scare people.
I know, he's so scary.
Isn't that right, Brother Graham?
The butler's expression is unreadable. Hardly say any emotion on his face to begin with since I started working for the Wrights, aside from vague amusement. There must have been something there, though, judging from Mr. Wright's own content look. The expression on Mr. Wright's face is almost cruel. Neither of them spoke, even as Johans leaves the room to serve the workers their late lunch.
So, now that we're alone, Marianne, what are you so jumpy for?
Why do you look like what?
I was just thinking about all the urban legends the movers have been telling me about this place.
Don't tell me you believe in that tosh. They're nothing but tales made up to scare children. Timmy, Billy, don't you dare go up to that big mansion and get in trouble there. The ghosts are going to get you.
That's a boring way to look at it, but that's usually what it is.
Oh my god, I accidentally clipped it again. I'm gonna cry. It would be a relief. Actually, if those rumors of this place being haunted is true, that just means I'm not going bonkers. Hearing, let alone seeing a dead person isn't exactly the symptoms of a healthy mind. Sure, it means there would be such things such as ghouls and goblins, but at least I'd be sane. On the other hand, there would actually be a dead girl walking around.
If you could excuse the inane question, Mr. Wright. You haven't noticed anything weird here?
Enough question on the surface. Yeah, I noticed the man stiffen as the question leaves my mouth. I wouldn't have noticed it if I wasn't watching his reaction instantly, but his eyes, I see something dangerous.
It depends on your definition of the word weird. Are we still on the topic of this place being haunted? Because no, things have not started to fly around, and we have yet to require an exorcism. I don't think my head would like to do the whole 180-degree turn thing.
Well, maybe that, but no strange people?
Aside from my usually weird butler and all the weird men traipsing around touching my things? No, not really. Why do you ask? Have you noticed anyone strange while you were here? Because you must report it to Johans and he'll have security handle it. But these reports better not be about ghosts and things that go bump in the night. I don't want to waste manpower on the boogeyman or senseless witch hunts.
I'll keep that in mind, Mr. Wright. But no, it's nothing like that. I guess the mansion is just strange for me. It's a unique project.
No strange men or women lurking about, then?
A dead teenager would technically qualify as strange. Yeah, the whole I see dead people thing isn't going to go over well.
None that I know of. But I'll inform Johans immediately if something comes up.
I'm serious, Mint. You see anything, anyone suspicious, and you report it. Immediately.
Okay.
I think that goes without saying.
The concern he have on the talk of security is quickly gone. His arrogant smug smirk returns, if a bit subdued. Her smarmy remarks are innuendo he has at the ready never comes through, as voices from the dining hall ring out.
So, is this a full-time job for you then?
Nah, I just freelance mostly. For magazines, newspapers, and events. So you can't really call it a full-time job. It's fun and it puts food on the table, but it's not what I really want to do. At least not all the time.
That'd be the magazine photographer, I assume. As always, Ms. Wright talks in such a kind and cheery fashion, no matter who she's talking with. Certainly puts people at ease around her. It sounds like it's working on the photographer, too. Hearing them, though, seems to put Mr. Wright in a sour mood. At least those small skull is anything to go by. Is he jealous?
You're not going to go out there and join Mrs. Wright? You're starting to look strained. If you want your picture taken so badly, I'm sure the photographer would oblige.
What is it that you want to do then?
Films. Documentaries mostly. But cinematography is a lot more difficult than photography, right? I was working on this thing, actually.
We need to get you away from the butler. You're starting to sound like him. No, I'm not joining Hana for an interior design magazine photo. What am I, a piece of furniture?
What is your wife? A piece of furniture? I'm sorry.
Look, did the lot of you have anything else crucial to do today? Marianne?
No. But that is where I end this episode off, gang, chat, men, and women alike. Let me just make sure I saved that 100 times over. Yes, alright. I will see you all next time in my beautiful place of Chickenani. If y'all don't know what Chickenani means, it means that it's a very beautiful place. It's okay, 3. Okay, 4. 3. Right, okay. Bye-bye, guys. I will see you all next time. I hope you all enjoyed. I don't know what else to say.